Aloha, mother fathers. Welcome in another edition of the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. Of course, streaming on this beautiful Friday morning all across the different social media, streaming channels. You got your YouTubes, you got your audio versions, which always sound crisp because that's the background we actually have. Kyle Cornell, Double A, Anthony Alford with you on your left. Double A, how you doing, man? I know you've been suffered some work-related, second job-related injuries with your throat.
Yes.
Still able to grace us with your look presence, but it's
Yeah. We're not going to get into that, but it's been working. It's been working. And apparently, your name tag this week, man.
Listen, pulled it out Sunday, but it wasn't as bad as before. Like you've seen me where my back was like I could barely move.
Dude, I don't think people remember. Maybe you do. This man, I credit this man. He did a whole show. Not even joking. I wish he was at the couch.
I legitimately couldn't move. Like I couldn't even sit up. It's how bad it was. Like that was when I first moved into the apartment a while back. And yeah, this was fine Sunday. Hurt a little bit. Monday started getting better. Tuesday, I'm like, all right, you know what? Feel pretty good. I'm gonna go play tennis because I usually have practices Tuesday night. Got home from tennis. Oof. It was just bad. It was really bad. The adrenaline wore off. And then yeah, Wednesday, that being yesterday as of this recording, I again could barely move, had to take off work, like just because I couldn't actually get up and sit down in this chair. Thankfully today I could at least get over here and get some stuff done. But like, yeah, it's been getting old fucking sucks. And if you can't tell, my back hurts with a Z because it's a little extra. So
yeah. What was it from a particular drill or what? It was just like when you got home, you just felt it.
No, so it never happens playing tennis. I've only ever hurt my back like playing basketball.
Okay.
And I didn't put on icy hot on my lower back. And I didn't take Advil before the game on Sunday. So that's my own fault. I kind of figured, oh shit, as soon as I left, I was like, oh no, I forgot to take at least take Advil or something. So just like, but normally I just it's almost preventative now because of how long I've played and just the injuries I've had. And yeah, it's without coming to say here, it's coming to the end of the basketball journey. The tennis journey is great. That still has some time on it, but the basketball journey is going to be coming to a close relatively soon.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I can't keep doing this. I can't keep doing this shit. Like I had to buy a box spring for my mattress so that I'm not as low to the ground anymore because my back hurts. Like I can't get out of fucking bed. Like I'm 31. Like I'm not like 80. Like I'm not like Pete. Like this is ridiculous. Like I don't know what the fuck is going on. Here's the cat. But like it's
It'd be
I'm
like
over
that,
it.
man. It'd be
No,
like
and
that.
he's chunky, but he's jumping around. And he's all happy and shit. Look at him looking at the camera. Look at him.
So
Yes.
yeah, there he is. Look at So it was so funny. We were supposed to be in the studio this week, and before you were the first to send the group text saying, I don't know, my back. But I already knew in my mind when I started talking yesterday morning and coughing that we were not going to the studio. you just beat me out to the excuse absence. You just beat me to it because
I was like, yeah, guys, my back's like really bad. I mean, I might still try to make it in, but it's going to be tough. And then out of nowhere, like 5 minutes later, yeah, we're not fucking doing that. My throat hurts like really bad. It feels like I've been in the Sahara Desert for 80 years with no water, so we're going to have to wait. I'm like, oh shit, all right. Normally I'm the one that comes with the analogies, but he had it. Like it was great.
Oh yeah. But I think we're okay. Financially, I'm not okay. I burnt a lot of money on a brand new set of tires today. That was how I spent my off day. New tires, oil change. So it got done. So
my goal is to make sure my tires are so bold that every single day, whether it's rain or shine, I'm in the Tokyo drift. So
dude, I didn't tell you. I spun out in front of my mom's place a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that bad.
We had people over, and all I wanted to do was back into the driveway. And in order to do that, you got to turn and then back in. Front tire said, not today, son. Stuck in the middle of the road. I had half the family looking at me. Oh, it's great to be back with family. It's all good. And I'm like, dude, like, come on.
That's
And,
the hey man, you good? And then they roast you for the next hour afterwards.
oh yeah, so shout out to family, took care of me. My brother, my cousin Tony, they took care of me. Get in there. They I said hello, but I was pissed. And they were like, they're like, so how was your day? I just wanted to be like,
fuck you.
All right, let's start the show. Boy, oh boy, I don't even know what my throat's gonna be. This is gonna be a quick show. Let's get to it. We'll start.
Right. My throat still works. The back doesn't. So if I just do this, I can talk pretty well. If I put both hands in my back, I'm not gonna pull a Mia Yim long back attack or anything like that. But I got both hands back there just in case. So.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, Michin, because we need to change everyone's name.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? All right, let's start with our sweet moment of the week. It is brought to you by BA Sweeties, and it is Javon Evans, the young OG, only 20. I think he's still 21.
There's 22, I think, next month.
Okay. He qualified for the Elimination Chamber, and he becomes the first participant in the history of the Elimination Chamber to enter the chamber after he was born, after the chamber was established. So the Elimination Chamber structure is older than Javon Evans, but congrats to him.
They're just booking shit to throw random stats out there. Like, did you think about that? Like, it's like, no, I didn't really care until you decided to say it 2 seconds ago. It's interesting. I think the better story is that at least Triple H gave one of the spots to one of the young talent that actually has a bright future, and now he can put that on his, on his back of his, mantle when it's all said and done, probably like 25 years from now. That I was first LEC when I was 21. Like, yeah, Jesus, but like. The reason why, in case people are wondering, I didn't do a Raw react is because I was that mad. Like, that show was terrible. Even some of the spots they hyped up, the CM Punk stuff wasn't good. The Judgment Day thing was rough. Like, that was really hard to watch. Like, Becky and AJ, really hard to fucking watch. You can tell why maybe they've maybe decided we're going to speed this up a little bit and get it over with quicker because maybe Becky and AJ isn't a WrestleMania match. Like, it was a really bad episode of Raw. They had a couple decent weeks. And we'll get into the box dumb shit later and all that stuff. Oh, everyone's over if they come out of the box. But like, no, like there was a lot. The only good thing from the show, which was kind of surprising, was that Javon did win. Like, and they put him in a match where he was with the current mid-card champion, Dom Mysterio, and Gunther, who's been just ending everyone's career, was over the age of 45. Like, they just been feeding people to him. And he lost. He obviously didn't get pinned. Dom did. But still, like, it was refreshing. Even though I know Javon's probably going to be the first one eliminated from the chamber, like I
hope not. I hope not.
Yeah, the way it's stacking up, though, I don't know. I mean, it's going to be tough because the last two spots are probably going to go to Bronson and probably Trick Williams.
So
and I don't think
right now.
So right now, the 4 people that are in as of this morning, Friday morning, as you guys are seeing this, they obviously have a qualifying match tonight on SmackDown. But it is Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes. It is, sorry, Javon Evans obviously being that third person, and the fourth person is LA Knight. So I think they really want to try and get LA Knight in this whole like unchosen role into the final 2. So because they're pushing that narrative down, but it looks like Bronson Reed will be one of the other ones. And then tonight, I think it's Trick, it's Mello, and it's one other person that's going up for it. It's probably going to be Trick that gets it. The way he's been booked screams that Melo's already got a title. They're not really worried about getting him in there. Not yet. So, yeah, I don't know. It's sad. I think that the good news is there is some effort to put some of these young guys at the forefront. If they can get Trick and Javon in there, that's huge. Like, just from a standpoint of age and working through with that. LA Knight, I think, is someone that people are kind of like, hey, are we going to ever do this? But
yeah, when is that trigger going to be pulled with LA Knight? And it's like,
hey,
really go after it like they are now. They're trying, but then it gets pulled back. You just never know.
There's a way where if they decide to book Cody and Jacob at WrestleMania and Drew doesn't have an opponent, feed him the one of the most over stars. Why not give him LA Knight? Maybe that's his moment because Drew wanted to put someone else over. He wanted to kind of make the title different and feel different again in that run. Maybe that match can happen. They have a little bit of history too on Raw. Who knows? But still happy for Javon to get this moment. He looked great in the match. You mentioned too, he's putting on some weight. Dude's got some muscle on him now. Like it's starting to get scary where he's like, okay, he's not losing any athletic ability. It was like the Montez Ford thing where he was kind of a twig. Then he got fucking jacked out of his mind. And then it was kind of like, but he went down a little bit in the athletic ability. He's been more just kind of like losing his mind, going crazy in between moves as opposed to more athletic stuff. He still did it, but it wasn't as crisp. Whereas Javon, he's just getting better. Like he's finding that nice little peak. I know he's obviously a lot younger, but still, like it's just you're seeing that final form start to work into Javon of like, okay, he could be one of those guys on Raw, for the foreseeable future that could be competing for a championship, and this is a good stepping stone to that moment.
Well, you know what? First off, I'm very happy that a month and a half in to 2026, the 3 flagship guys from NXT who were moved up, all of them are standouts right now. I know Oba hasn't been.
He's in a bidding war.
He's in a bidding war. So
maybe he's in the box. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe, but even Oba, the Royal Rumble, he shined. Trick Williams, it would not. Okay, this might be a hot take. It would not shock me if Trick Williams won the Chamber, if he qualifies, wins the Chamber, and he's the one that beats Drew McIntyre. Like, it would shock, and they just turn him. He is that hot right now with the fans. And he had the coldest line with the Sami Zayn's, like his breath smelled like 10 pounds of bouncing ass or something like that.
Well, you're kind of hoping for him because he's literally doing the Hollywood gimmick. Like you're kind of hoping like he can kind of take it to it like The Rock did, where it's like, okay, he just started out insulting people and just being an asshole, but eventually people just loved it so much because he was so into the character that he just became what he became. Like you're kind of hoping he takes.
And Kyle, they're chanting his chant on Raw.
For like 2, like I think when Natty was getting beat up by somebody or whatever was happening, they were chanting it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he's like good. And again, we talked about this before, waiting for the right time to put these guys on the main roster. And for as long as it took, it worked. I mean, people know him now. People know who he is. People will be able to point out Trick Williams a lot faster than almost anybody in AEW. So, I mean, and they've been fighting for years on that main card. He just showed up a couple months ago, and all of a sudden now he's, getting chance. He's on multiple different shows and different segments that don't involve him. Like, it's crazy.
Back to Javon here for a second. Obviously, what he's been doing is impressive. What I will, what I would like to see with Javon, what I'm thinking in terms of WrestleMania. Let me just pitch this to you. It's a good guy versus bad guy. Somebody needs a spotlight type of match. And again, I don't know what the Masked Man, who we'll talk about here shortly. They're going to face somebody from the Vision. I don't know who. But would you be upset if Javon Evans faced Bronson Reed at WrestleMania? And I only bring this up because, I'm like, you don't want Javon Evans to be the first one eliminated from the Chamber, but if you have all good guys in the Chamber, somebody has to go, right? What if Javon Evans eliminated Bronson Reed in the Elimination Chamber, and then the Vision starts to target Javon Evans in the feud? And for Javon Evans, that would be one of his first big spotlight feuds going into WrestleMania. A good spot in the main card, 100% fan support for Javon. And I think Bronson and Javon will have a great match.
I think you're right. The only problem is they're building that match to be Bronson versus LA Knight.
Okay.
I think that's probably going to be, he's probably going to be the one that finds a way, either with the help of the mask guy or whatever, to beat Bronson in the Chamber and pin him. And that's going to continue the LA Knight versus Vision storyline. I think Javon is more likely to probably get an IC title match against Dom at Mania. If they don't go the Finn Balor route, which I don't know what the fuck they're doing with that. I guess we'll see after the chamber when he inevitably loses the CM Punk how this goes. Um, but like you can honestly throw them in a ladder match. You can make it a triple threat if Javon kind of sticks his nose in their business a little more. That's a little bit easier to work its way in than to all of a sudden Javon being thrust into the semi-main event with guys that he really had no problem with at all. When they have someone else that's going to be free in LA Knight that has had a serious problem with them. They took him out, Bronson with the car, all that stuff. It's been a huge thing. And we know Triple H, he loves long-term storytelling. So it's
Yeah, he
sometimes to a
does.
fault. He'll reference stuff from 15 years ago. We're like, we didn't even know that. But like, it's
I
yeah.
do appreciate the callbacks to SummerSlam 2024. Stuff I even forgot about. It's like, oh yeah, remember what happened in Cleveland?
Yeah.
SummerSlam 2024.
Yeah, and so I feel like that's probably the direction you're going with that. But it's just puts Javon on the map for at least I would think a upper mid card match or a mid card title shot. At Mania, and Javon and Dom would be fun.
It would
Really
be
fun. And then maybe it's Finn cost Dom somehow or whatever it is if he's not going to be in the match because that's Finn's whole thing, right? It's I'm not getting booked. I have to make my own way. He could be riding the resentment train all the way into WrestleMania 42, and then that's when shit can go sideways for the Judgment Day. Finally, we could see maybe some more of a shatter in the machine that is the that group that's been around for way too long. But I mean, yeah.
Which breakup angle will be fulfilled first? Will it be the Judgment Day breakup angle or Soruka and Zarya? Which one will happen first?
I think the Sol Ruka and Zarya thing is going to be next week or whenever that next show is.
I think next week. Yes.
Yeah, I think this was because I saw the highlight from Tuesday with Zarya saying we're done and then helping her back up at the end and hugging and saying we're better. We got to get you back. I think it's all a smokescreen. I think they're going to eventually turn her, probably next week fully, and that's where it's going to go downhill. And you're not going to get a Sol Ruka versus JC Jane match at Stand and Deliver, which is kind of strange considering that Sol Ruka probably is their biggest star right now. And JC's not thrilled about that, but I mean, it just is what it is. But
I like that element of the story, though. I bring realism to the storylines. I do love that. But yeah, we're going to talk overall about the state. I mean, in different ways with the company. It's not great right now, but there are individual stories that are delivering. You brought up Dom. I do want to credit a little bit here, Dom. That backstage with Dom and Liv and Stephanie Vaquer, the whole Spanish thing.
Yeah.
The only thing I would have liked to have seen, and I'll credit Bully Ray for this take because I heard it. I'm like, oh, that's brilliant. If Stephanie Vaquer would have looked at Dominic and said in English, tell her that I'm going to F her up, that she ain't, whatever, and like, forget about your whole existence, and then tell her that, and it's just, but they're doing some little things right, but the whole big picture of things that are going on, especially considering that, all right, we are in WrestleMania season, and they hit it. It just, I don't know. It doesn't seem like there is a, how can I put this? It doesn't seem like there's a demand to watch these shows right now.
It feels like you can miss a lot of it and still watch the PLE. You can still watch Elimination Chamber and be relatively entertained and all that stuff. The Liv Dom and Stephanie stuff was good too, but the problem was there was no translation. It's only Dom whispering, into Liv's ear and her obviously having this mental breakdown. And then I saw someone translated the full thing on Facebook or something like that. And it was a really good fucking promo. Like there was a lot of passion in it. There was the wording was great. It's like, man, if they would have just threw up words at the bottom of the screen, the American audience would have ate that shit up. They would have been like, oh, this is fucking crazy. Like she just laid. There's a reason why Liv Morgan is crying. You didn't have to guess for 90 seconds and just go like, okay, so whatever she said really made Liv sad. Like what the fuck? Like even Michael Cole's like, no comprende. I don't like what the fuck. Like, this may be a bad time, Liv, but and it's just walked off. That's why I thought it was kind of a shit end of the segment because it's like, okay, we don't know what was said because Dom's half whispering, half saying things in the corner, and he's not really on the mic for it. Like it's like a bad version of a C-SPAN meeting. I was like, I can't understand what the fuck's going on here.
So, do you ever watch any shows or any movies in closed capturing?
No, because I don't usually watch foreign films. But if I did, I'm sure I would. No,
So,
there's this weird button on the remote that's called volume, and if you press it up, you can hear it better. It's crazy.
I don't know what that is. So, so I actually, from somebody else, got into the habit of the closed capturings, at least with Netflix, and it was annoying at first, and then you just get used to it. And sometimes there are a few things that you're reading along, and it's like, oh, they picked it up. Oh, they can curse, and then the closed capturing. So they drop the S word, and then like you wait like 5 seconds. It's like shit. It just drops right there. The only frustrating part, I'm assuming Kyle has to take a phone call. The only frustrating part about it is when you have to, when they speak in Spanish, all of a sudden it just says speak in Spanish. And it doesn't even tell you what the English translation is, just speak in Spanish. They're like, oh, come on. But anyway, our sweet moment of the week, congrats to Javon Evans for qualifying for the Elimination Chamber in Chicago a week from Saturday on ESPN, on the ESPN app. So that's going to be fun to watch the Chamber matches. And again, all of our stuff, our sweet moment, is brought to you by BA Sweeties. And, Valentine's Day has passed, but that's okay because we are now, Lent has started, and we are inching close to Easter, and we are in the peak season of delicious treats and candies and popcorn. Shout out to our guy, Jim Wagner of LPV Productions. He got a couple different brands of popcorn, and you got to stock up at BA Sweeties, candies, pops, popcorns, toxic candy. Get some good tricks too. A lot of great stuff, Kyle, at BA Sweeties.
And the bonus point of all this, use that promo code Lollipop, courtesy of us. You get money off on your next order, any order, all the way through the Easter holiday, through the month of April. Actually, we get to run this promo for you guys. So it's great. Even a little bit post-Easter, you're trying to get some extra candy for some deals. Well, save more money with that promo code Lollipop. Use that as how they track to see that our listeners and our watchers are paying attention. And hey, it's more money off on your order. Why would you not want to do that? It's crazy to think that you just want to pay full price when you can get a discount. So use that promo code Lollipop one more time at BA Sweeties now through the end of the month of April, and save a few bucks because you may have to replace all 4 tires and get an oil change in your car. And you may need a little bit of money off on that candy order for coming up on this big Easter holiday. It's only just a handful of weeks away, so take advantage of that deal today.
It is BA Sweeties, the largest candy store in America. Like, this is a huge place. And it smells like it. The entire building smells like candies. They're celebrating 75 years. It's huge. If you don't believe us, I'm going to reach over and click on this commercial to show you. It is the largest candy store in North America. That's why that commercial took a full minute, because you had to do a full tour there. And by the way, we didn't even show in that commercial the full shop. They also have an ice cream shop as well on the other part of BA Sweeties. This is an amazing place to go to, Kyle.
So great. What you also didn't see was me hanging off of that drone, taking the lap around there, just looking at people. And so maybe you saw a few stairs here or there, but it's kind of weird to see a 6'6" guy holding on to a small drone. It's so powerful. It's the power of candy, the power of sweets, the power of energy, sugar. Take advantage of that kind of power and head over to BA Sweeties. One more time, don't forget that promo code Lollipop.
That's right. Right when you get to the counter, get all that taken care of. All right, our sweet moment of the week again brought to you by BA Sweeties, Siobhan Evans in the Elimination Chamber. Now, we've been hearing a lot of talk, and you mentioned you didn't do a reacts just because we're all
stuck a big old bag of dicks.
Yeah, and NXT. I have to clear my phone out, so I'm going to do that, and I'll get back to that too. But a lot of change over there as well, so that's taking some time to get used to because basically it's a whole new show over at NXT. And then SmackDown's on Fridays. So what I'm saying is right now is just there doesn't seem to be much demand to watch WWE programming, and AEW is not improving in their own right either. So all of pro wrestling right now in terms of demand and I have to watch this. I have to see this. It's down right now. And you're seeing it with WrestleMania. Various reports that WrestleMania ticket sales at this moment is down. Las Vegas in the last week, I think the promotion ended, but in the last week, 25% off on WrestleMania tickets. Again, those tickets are high. I guess my question right now, Kyle, the shows, they're okay, but it's not must see. And right now, you got the return city instead of New Orleans, which was supposed to host WrestleMania this year, and you might have went if it was in New Orleans. It's back in Vegas. It's back in an expensive city. And there doesn't seem to be a high demand for people to go back to Las Vegas for WrestleMania. What exactly is going on right now with the ticket sales with WrestleMania?
I think you brought this up a little bit earlier in that too, and that just wrestling right now is cooled down. I think that's the big gist of all that. If this is a couple of years ago with the Bloodline story in full tow, I mean, they're selling out that show in a couple of weeks. With this now, it's just kind of, there's not an overarching story that people are really excited about. I mean, there hasn't been a storyline that really stood out as like, oh, this is the big one. This is huge. It's going to make this show feel really important. We just haven't really had that. And I think in a way, I'm actually going to compliment AEW here. The fact that they came up in 2019 and started, and they had a few years where they were doing okay. 21 is kind of when it really started going down big time after the pandemic was over and all that, but to a point. But I mean, it pushed WWE to put better product out there and to have better stories and to put more time and investment in some of these things. Roman Reigns' title reign, for as upset people were towards the end of it that he had the title for as long as he did, it drew. It sold out arenas. That last year he was champion. They had like 50-something straight sellouts or whatever it was. They were just killing it. The ratings were up on both shows. You were seeing a nice spike up. And since he lost that championship, Cody had a little bit of a run there. But beyond that, it's been going down. And again, AEW has kind of done the same thing. They've gone down. Interest overall in pro wrestling has just fell off probably in the past year and a half or so. They're still getting numbers and they're still putting people in seats. WWE still putting, 10, 12, 13,000 people in arenas. But you're not seeing, we got 20,000 people every week trying to get into this spot. You're not seeing AEW putting up, almost 1 million viewers on a show anymore. You're not seeing the back and forth of, okay, we're doing something good now. You have to try and figure it out. It's all just been very kind of lackluster. And there needs to be some sort of I don't want to say savior for it. This is one of the reasons why Roman is back in the main event of WrestleMania again too, because you just don't really know where to go. The true investment in young talent that is getting over with the crowd has not been put in full drive yet. Kind of feels like we're still hanging out in second gear with some of these guys, even with someone like Trick or Javon. Mello's been slow to get over, but now he finally has sort of got some people behind him. He's a mid card champion. That's great. Dom is one of those guys. Thought maybe you could have pulled the trigger on a little bit sooner, and that would have been a great story. I think him and Finn for a world title at Mania would have been a really good storyline because it incorporates the only other group that's been around for the past 4 or 5 years, whatever it's been. And at least they have a lot of history in that group. It's two of the people that were in the original Judgment Day, so to speak, going through it. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like there's that overarching reason to watch beyond I like pro wrestling. And that's the big problem because you always want to try and get more people in to create more wrestling fans as opposed to just having some people that casually watch it here and there and then kind of forget about it.
Well, 2 points to this. Number one, it does feel like, and I think you've been hitting on this feels like a transitional year where, 2027, 2028, the young guys that we've been talking about, they're going to get that full push. Mm-hmm. We wish, Obafemi and Javon and Trick Williams, Braun Breaker, Dominic Mysterio, all these, and I'm just talking about the men. I didn't even get to the women. So Ruka and others, all of them are going to get a substantial push in 2027 and in years to come. So I think you're there from that standpoint. I think you're going to be off and running there. So at least this is not a situation where WWE is down. There's huge potential that they could trend back up. I'll just say that. But that's honestly, that might be a post-WrestleMania situation, which people don't want to hear that right now because you build up your year for WrestleMania, but programming might be better post-WrestleMania this year.
Still worried about the fact that WrestleMania is in Saudi next year, that they may just fall back on, we're just going to book, Randy versus Brock, and we're just going to keep booking these crazy matches because of stars that have been over for 20 years as opposed to leaning in. They did drop the ball booking Vegas 2 years in a row, and I think this should hopefully prove to them that that's not a good idea. The whole poll of WrestleMania was that cities got to bid, and you could be in New Orleans, you could be in Cleveland in 2029 with the Dome coming through and being like, we might have a shot to get WrestleMania in our town. That's crazy. That's awesome. People were excited about that. I know we were talking about New Orleans being a possibility for us going down there and being a part of that experience, which would have been great. A lot less pull to go to Vegas, just because again, it's just crazy. It's hot all the time. It's stupid. I'm not saying New Orleans isn't hot. But hey, April, it's comfortable. And we can deal with that. It's sad. And then again, people don't like some of the things WWE has done. I mean, whether it's a Saudi Arabia deal for as long as they have been, even though I understand why, from a performer standpoint, they still go over to do it. You can't help but, hide the issues when it comes to just, cultural and human rights and all that stuff. I understand. When you pull a city out like New Orleans who bid and won, and you just say, no, we're not doing it anymore. We're going to give it to Vegas because they gave us a little bit more money. But don't worry, you're going to get a pay-per-view in September. That people look at that and they go, man, that's kind of shitty. That's not cool. You could have just done Vegas in 2 years.
It's not even like SummerSlam or anything like that.
This is a week-long thing for them. This is a Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, Monday swing of 4 shows in the city and they have the WWE shop to a world that sets up for WrestleMania that week. They have obviously McAfee. They have sports shows go down there, and do stuff live on ESPN now and everything. They have a full setup of a week plus of things to do in that city that just draw interest and money and attention. And the fact that it just got pivoted because you felt Saudi and wanted it to be in Vegas, and then, of course, Saudi Arabia getting it next year. People aren't going to go to that. They're going to sell it out because there's more than 80,000 people in Saudi Arabia, so they'll show up for it. But I can't imagine there's going to be a lot of people traveling. There will be some, but I can't imagine there's going to be a bunch of people that are from the States or from England or whatever that went, to Saudi Arabia to watch WrestleMania. They'll just watch it on fucking on ESPN or whatever it's on. They'll do that. It's sad that they went this route. And you brought this up earlier. if they keep trying to rotate Vegas in, I think it's a terrible idea. I think once in a while is good because it is a nice setup as far as the production, as far as being able to put people into that stadium. It's a dome. That's cool. It's great. It's controlled, climate controlled. But there are other places. Minneapolis should have a WrestleMania. There's a lot of history in Minnesota when it comes to pro wrestling anyway, with the AWA and all that stuff. I think Cleveland should be looked at. They had the SummerSlam here and it went great. They were all very happy. It was sold out. There was a lot of people, and it was only going to be more seats in that dome when it's finished in a few years. So Indianapolis has been promised a WrestleMania too at some point here. Like that's you have to use these other cities, because if you don't, and you just say, oh well, we're going to do Las Vegas every other year, and then we'll sprinkle in Saudi too every other year. Like it's like you're just ruining it for fans across the country that don't want to have to always travel and want some pride. There was pride in this for wrestling fans and even casual sports fans. People that were like in New Orleans, like, yeah, I'm a Pelicans fan, but well, shit, that WrestleMania is coming. Maybe I should check that out a little bit. Maybe I should go to that, Like, I mean, it just closes the door on so many casual people because you want to try and set up a normal spot. This isn't UFC. You don't have to fight at MGM Grand every other weekend. Like you can do this across the country and really make waves. And they've done that. And now they're trying to pivot off of it. Just like the whole thing of pivoting off of families. It's like, why? We've been over this. My 8-year-old son is a consumer. He spends my money because he tells me, Dad, I want to go see that show. So now I'm buying 2 tickets. Not even just for me. I'm buying it for him. Families that are together, that are married couples and all that stuff, that have 3, 4 kids. That's 6 fucking tickets. There's no child ticket usually. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't. But even then, it's another ticket being sold. Why would you not want to cater to families still? You can have your edgy moments, and we talked about that, especially being on Netflix and stuff too. You can go a little bit above and beyond when it comes to swearing and stuff like that. You change the rating a little bit here and there, it's fine. But you need to sell to families. Why are you not making money? Because the thing you're doing is you're trying to pull more money out of the cities and less money out of the people actually going to the events.
And they're not even being edgy.
No,
like, they're not. If the sole explanation of forget about families was to really be an adult product, even from that standpoint, they're failing. And part of the appeal to make money with WrestleMania is going to different cities, because for families, for wrestling fans, a lot of the big draw of WrestleMania is meeting new people and touring different cities. I mean, if WrestleMania was, I've never been to New Orleans. I've never been there. So if WrestleMania was in New Orleans, go down there, and we're not going just to go to WrestleMania and then come back. Like, you're going to tour the city. You're going to do, fun activities, whatever it may be. Same with Indianapolis. Same with some of these other towns. Minneapolis, by the way, they're hosting SummerSlam. That might be the show where Brock Lesnar retires.
Yeah, it's possible.
It's possible.
But can you imagine though, just like the business practice too? You go through the bidding for the show. You win the bidding. It's been announced. The Rock comes out on SmackDown and says we're going to New Orleans for WrestleMania. And then a handful of weeks or months, whatever it was later, all of a sudden, no, we're not.
Yeah.
Do you see what city is going to look at that and go, what we want to do? We want to bid on a place just to get pushed to the side because Vegas wants to take over and do another show. That's going to dispel a lot of cities that don't already have some sort of handshake agreements in here to wanting to bid for WrestleMania now, because they're afraid even if they win it, they might get fucking dumped off and they might not be able to host. Oh, but don't worry, you'll get Money in the Bank in September. It's such a bad business move from a company that usually makes pretty good business decisions when it comes to making money. Now, well, here you go. This is the flip side of it. You can charge more for tickets, but you're going to have less people show up because you're doing.
New Orleans is one of the top tourist cities that welcomes in those events.
And they have WrestleManias there, and they do well. They're usually pretty well-booked events. Everyone remembers 30 with Daniel Bryan and that whole thing. Mm-hmm. One of the biggest WrestleMania, possibly the biggest WrestleMania main event until Cody's at 40. But what are we doing? You took it away from a city that really loves this kind of stuff. It didn't make any sense then. And now it's showing you why it doesn't make any business sense now. Because when the product isn't doing as well, and you're going back to a city for a second consecutive year, people are like, nah, maybe we can miss this Mania because they'll be back in a few years, whatever. It doesn't you're just drawing people out at the end of the
Right,
day.
and that brings me to another point because I was trying to think back. When was the last WrestleMania where there wasn't a big hot storyline to carry the product into WrestleMania? And I had to really go back, take out 2020 and COVID. But last year you had John Cena, obviously the excitement off the charts going into WrestleMania. And then every single year before that was Roman Reigns and the Bloodline. Before that, again, take out 2020, you had Becky Lynch going for the championship against Ronda Rousey. And Charlotte was entered into the match, whatever. But it was the story of Becky Lynch. I go back to 2018. 2018, kind of similar circumstances where we're at right now. 2018, you had Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the championship. Again, back then it was big dog Roman Reigns. Somebody wanted to see him. Roman and Brock was never really that hot of a story. Over time, they've had great matches. But in terms of rivalries, you wouldn't put Brock and Roman up there with Rock and Austin. People just didn't want to see that. And they were, I know we were complimenting New Orleans, but New Orleans had just hosted WrestleMania 30 and they got WrestleMania 34. So there really wasn't much of a turnover from that standpoint. You had a cold product, tickets weren't moving. And overall, we're thinking, this is 2018. 2018, the storytelling wasn't as strong as it was in 2017, and definitely not as strong as it was in 2016 when you had John Cena and AJ Styles and Dean Ambrose and the SmackDown 6 and all that stuff. So
yeah, wasn't Kofi Mania one of those years too? I mean,
well, Kofi Mania was 2019.
Yeah.
So you had that. So yeah, I mean, it becomes a problem where things are not hot right now, and that was the issue, that was the concern with that. So yeah, I think when you consider where the product is right now with WrestleMania, it's cold because right now, storyline rise, not as hot as they were in 2025 WWE, but definitely not even close to where they were in 2024 with the final boss and all that stuff. This is not a good situation.
This is the time where you say, okay, we don't really have Seth got hurt. Cody needed a break from the title, obviously. Roman's part-time, Randy's part-time, all these guys that we've relied on for the past decade. Obviously Cody more or less the last 3 to 4 years, but like everyone else the past decade, kind of feels like they're out. John's retired, all this stuff. We need to start really looking at these younger, talented stars. Like Double A mentioned, Trick, Javon, Oba. Oba could have a match. He could have a big one, coming up possibly with Brock Lesnar. That could be a thing that happens maybe at Mania. We'll see if they actually pull the trigger on that or not. There's been some rumors that it may be LA Knight and Brock. God, I really don't want to see that just because we know what's going to happen. I can't conceivably, even though LA Knight's jacked, I can't look at LA Knight, look at Brock Lesnar and go, yeah, that's fair. It just doesn't. There's very few people Brock can get in the ring with that I'll be like, yeah, I don't know. Oba's one of them where it's like, okay, well, fuck, you can match with power for power. And then I look at Gunther and I say, okay, he's just an animal in there. It's two animals at that point.
Right.
Like just two beasts just going at each other. Like I could see that. That may be more for SummerSlam. But like it's time. It's time. And the guys are over. Braun Breaker, there's been some rumors that Braun is feigning the injury, just like Seth did, because it's a Paul Heyman mind twist. So when Seth gets revealed possibly as the masked man, or if someone comes through and Seth decides to unmask himself or decides to come up and try to attack Paul, Braun comes out of the woodwork and spears him, and he's fine. And they have their match. And you know what? At this point, they probably need that to happen because the card's looking a little light. So let's figure it out and get those two in a match if you can. But yeah.
It's a
Go
tough
in, man.
situation.
Go in. Like, just give it to these guys. I want to see Oba in a singles match. I want to see your scenario. I want to see Trick win, the Elimination Chamber and face Drew McIntyre. That'd be fun. Like, I
Mhm.
want to see Dom versus Javon Evans. I want to see new champions that are all under the age of 30. When this WrestleMania is over, let's get the new guard going. This is a great building block WrestleMania. So
I
you can
would
actually
love,
push them forward.
I would love, I don't know if this will happen, but wouldn't it be fun if Trick Williams beat Drew McIntyre at WrestleMania?
It'll be great. Well, that's because then, okay, so now, because I'm assuming by that point, if Melo's still doing open challenges and stuff, he could possibly lose that title or whatever it is and kind of be freed up. Melo and Trick is a handmade story we've talked about multiple times. And Trick would have all the cards as the heel. I'm bigger than you. I'm stronger than you. I showed up on the main roster. You were the first round draft pick, right? I won the title in my first 4 months. Let's talk about it. Like, he has the whole thing he could lay out there. That's a feud for years
Yeah.
because those two have all that history together and people enjoyed it in NXT. It was good. Like, and they're both on SmackDown. It's a handwritten, like, go for it. Like, do your thing. Like, they have that. Braun and Oba on Raw, because I'm assuming Oba's going to pick Raw, like, at the end of the day. Even though SmackDown's 3 hours, the flagship wants the big guy. So he may go over there because Brock's not going to be around too much longer. And Brock ain't going on SmackDown.
Right.
So he's,
and remember too, Roman, he's going to pop, whether he wins the title or not, he ain't there full time, obviously. So you need more firepower with Raw.
And you got to think too, at that point, if Roman does win the title from Punk, okay, who's good enough to beat Roman? Not named Seth Rollins.
Correct.
Braun Breaker and maybe Oba. Javon's not quite there yet. They haven't presented him in that spot yet. So it's probably only 2 guys, and Gunther maybe. Like, but Gunther lost to CM Punk. People seem to forget about that. And if CM Punk loses to, Roman, what does that make Gunther to Roman? We got a little taste of that in the Rumble, but I mean, it wasn't like it was great. They didn't have great chemistry. It was okay, but I don't know.
Speaking of Gunther, I hate to admit this. You were right, buddy. Yeah, he should have been the one to beat John Cena. Trick, Oba, you could have picked anybody, but yeah.
I would have picked Trick just because, especially how they presented it.
Yeah, I mean,
and how they've presented him since then. Like, he's been.
Well, my surprise, it seems to me that the writing team on the main roster, did they not watch NXT last year?
Of course not.
Like, it's, I don't want to lump Triple H into this because it's, in the past, Vince McMahon would have moved people up just because, they're popular and not have a story in place. It's clear and obvious. To be fair, it was clear and obvious that they had something in mind with Trick and Javon and Oba, which is why they didn't move up earlier. And, you have to figure some things out with Trick and then move up. But it seems like the rest of the writing team, like, did you not watch what Trick can do? But Gunther, there's no draw. He's just a guy.
It's fallen flat from a standpoint of, again, like, it'd be one thing if you had a bunch of guys lined up. Like, okay, we have Goldberg, we have Cena, now we have Styles. So then what's next? And they're doing this tribute thing to Styles on Monday because he's about to sign with somebody else. So let's see him off. Give him one last little respect for 10 years in WWE. That's great. Whether it's TNA or AEW, I don't know, but it'll be one of those two. Or maybe he pulls the
write him off again.
And well, just be careful because if he comes out in the salmon jacket, we're going to see the white Georgia version of Mark Henry here, and it's going to be real great. But like, I don't. There's not many other guys he can do that to. The career killer is great. Like, Randy Orton had the legend killer thing, but that's because legends were coming back. He was putting them down. Like, there is Ray, but Ray is a little preoccupied with something. I don't know. He gets hurt every other week now because he's 50. It's okay. You're allowed to be 50 and get hurt. It's cool. I'm 31 and can't get my back together. Randy, like I said, Randy's on the other brand and he's not doing anything. He's going to be kind of in that weird Cody sphere of, like, I'm around the title, but am I really? And they're using my name, of course, because I've been here for 20 years. Like, there's not a lot of guys. You could say Brock, but I don't think that's going to be WrestleMania. I think that's more likely to be SummerSlam, like you mentioned, because it feels like Oba and Brock. It's like it needs to be a thing. Like I think Brock needs to have some doubt before he gets retired. He can't just be rolling through everybody. Like he needs to get his ass kicked one time to be like, oh fuck, maybe I don't have it anymore.
Right.
And that's when Gunther sneaks in, swoops in, and be like, oh, you don't, Brock. I have your number. Like he can do the whole thing and he can kick his ass at SummerSlam. That's fine. But
And Brock would get the babyface reaction at SummerSlam.
yeah, it's a hurry up and wait thing, which for Brock Lesnar, that's amazing if he gets a babyface reaction in 2026, considering all the shit he's done.
Yeah.
That's wild. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. They're just in a weird holding pattern right now, and Gunther is part of that because like he was the champion the entire time, or now he's retiring people. It can't just be like he has a good story, and like he like with a person or something like that. Like what the fuck are they doing with Ilya now? Like that could be a match.
Yeah.
Don't save it for Clash in Italy. Like that's a main PLE event match that people will go, holy shit. Like wow. Like that's something you need to put on one of those cards, one of those WrestleManias probably to make it like really stand out. That could be a great coming out party for Ilya.
It would be.
Because he's not going to retire if fucking Gunther beats him. Like, yes, it's shocking. The first time Gunther faces two people in a triple threat that are in their 20s, he lost. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. He's got to face old people to win matches now. So we're going to bury Gunther even fucking more with that. Because if you're not 45 or older, you're fine. Just get the fuck out. It's annoying. It's like, okay, so now he's went from I'm a perennial champion to I can only beat old people to if they're in their 20s, I'm probably going to fucking lose the match.
Yeah, so, probably.
Yeah, maybe you can do us all a favor and retire Jey Uso while he's at it. That'd be great. He's 40. Get him out. I've seen enough. I've seen enough.
He's not 45 yet. Okay.
I've seen enough. I have seen enough. He had his run. He's made his money. Get him the fuck out of here.
What does Solo say? 4 letters, 1 word. Nope.
Solo, another guy. He's in his mid-30s or whatever it is, but it's like, okay, he's the bloodline guy I want to see. If it's not going to be Jacob Fatu, throw his ass in there.
Yeah, true.
Because you know he's going to be able to cut promos and he's a good wrestler. So,
yeah. Real quick before we go to break, so who's in that crate? Who are we going to see on February 28th? Because they're going to ship the crate to SmackDown. Nick Aldis will do nothing with it. It's like, well,
fuck is this? It's like some gear. Is there some ring gear in here? What are we doing? Like, what's going on with this thing?
Horse Throttle will be behind the crate.
I don't know whose idea, though. This does scream Road Dogg. Unfortunately, most likely. Let's keep him on edge. Let's make a crate. The wrong answer to this is Powerhouse Hobbs or Royce Keys because he already fucking debuted.
Oh, the 41-year-old?
He can get retired by Brock Lesnar or by Gunther in a few years too. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Because he's getting close.
Hey, if you don't lie about your age, you might as well get retired right now.
I don't know what they're thinking is going to be a good surprise. The only two names that would actually pop people, I think, would be Bianca or would be Chris Jericho. You could say Chris Jericho because it's like a roadie box. It's like a box you would ship maybe that has like sound equipment and stuff in it. He pops out, does a concert, he's back. That's cool, I guess. But like I don't. And Chicago was where he debuted with WWE.
Yeah, there's like a whole history with. Yeah. I forgot the number, but there's like certain number of days.
Yeah, I also don't. I don't buy the Tony Khan freezing his contract thing because he wasn't hurt. He was written off TV. So like he didn't leave because he was hurt or for whatever reason. He had tours, but it was he's done that before. So I don't buy the whole. He had his contract froze for 9 months and he's going to be in AEW for the rest of the year. I don't buy that per se. Mm-hmm. But he could inject life into this. The other possibility is Kevin Owens. No one seems to be talking about that. But why would Owens come back in a crate? What the fuck?
I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't like it. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I just don't understand. What, does he get shit from Canada? Is that why he's in the fucking crate? I don't understand why it's Or we're doing international shipping. Is that why it's a little bit special? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's Big Show. Maybe he's in there. It's a giant fucking crate. Maybe he's in there. Maybe Paul White making a comeback. Maybe it's Kane. It's Kane. And he's going to kick the door through.
It's
like
corporate Kane. It's corporate Kane. He's going to fix the election.
If the mayor of Knox County comes out of that crate with a suit on, I'm going to turn my TV off. That's all I'm telling you right now.
No, we got to watch that. No. We got to watch
There's nobody besides the two names that I mentioned that will get people actually excited at the end of the day. Like, it can be a surprise, which is great, and surprises can be good, but they can also be pretty fucking lackluster depending on who comes out of that fucking box.
Right.
It's crazy we're having this conversation in 2026, but we are. Like, this was a 90s thing. This was old school stuff that, again, I understand tapping into some of the old to make it look new, but I didn't have who's in the fucking crate on my 2026 WWE bingo card. Okay. It's a little much. Like, it's just fucking have him debut and have him actually start a feud with somebody. What the fuck is Bianca come out of the box and push Jay through a car? Like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
You know what's sad? I think you just spoke a storyline into existence. What if they went with that?
The only thing I think of that is worse is if it's Bad Bunny. If it's Bad Bunny in the fucking box instead of under the mask, we got a problem. We do.
We got
because that's stupid. That's so dumb. Like, it's so unnecessary. Like, make it.
I'll say this: if it is Jericho, I do trust Jericho creatively to make something work out of that.
Yeah, because he's gonna come out to Alice in Chains. Oh, man in the box.
At least make some story out of it. Like, I do trust that. Twitter changed something here. God, I hate Twitter now. You have to post manually now. We have a live show going on during our taping. Hold up, there we go. But yeah, I mean, I trust Jericho in terms of he could create a story out of this. And maybe this was his idea.
Let's be honest. Let's be honest here. If it's anybody but Jericho, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, correct.
Like, what Seth doesn't make sense.
The only people it would make sense for, but it would be a complete letdown, but would be the APA. Because they used to hey, we're opening up a new card games and stuff because they're bringing it back to it would be such a letdown, but it fits with their characters.
The sad part is, unfortunately, like, what would have been really cool, and I say that even haphazardly because it really wouldn't be, but like, if Joe Hendry never debuted on the main roster and they wheeled the fucking crate out there, and then both GMs came out and were like, "What the fuck? Like, who expects to be in this? What's in the fucking this crate? Like, names, give me names. Who do you think of?" And then you say, "Well, who's that guy from NXT? Is that?" And then he kicks the crate open and it's Joe Hendry. That would be kind of funny. At least that's a story that I'd be like, okay, like that's kind of creative. He's not coming out of a trash can. He got shipped there. Now, granted, Joe Hendry was put in the fucking warehouse for 2 weeks and had to wait. But he was in that crate, though, that entire time. That's the other part that's fucking stupid. They debuted it. It's not the week before to sell those last few tickets and get a few more people watching. It's multiple weeks away now. It's going to be on both shows. And now we got to wait. We expect this person to be living in this fucking crate for 2 fucking weeks, eating fucking saltines, drinking water, got a pee corner. Like, we don't know what the fuck's going on in there. That box is going to smell like shit when it opens up.
Yeah. So we're rated on a crate and we're rated on a mask man again. And again, my theory, we got to get a break here. My theory with the mask man, and we'll talk about more of who it could be when we come back. Again, in Mexico, we talked about this last week. In Mexico, the characters live on. If somebody gets hurt, you just put it on somebody else. Grande Americano, La Parca, you just give it to somebody else. So the mask man can be anybody. But our question, as we go to break, what if it's Bad Bunny? What if Bad Bunny is the guy? What if he's revealed to be the masked man? Our thoughts on that. Who would he face? Is a matchup with Bronson Reed? in his future, or even if we're talking about Bad Bunny, could be Logan Paul, could be in that future. So we'll talk about that when we come back. Also, are you paying for Elimination Chamber tickets in the movie theaters? We'll talk about that. I do want to give a quick commentary on AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. Why is that not working? I do want to talk a little bit about that in a little bit. But first, we'll take a quick break. Again, our show brought to you by BA Sweeties, also Omega Video Marketing, also Alley Rose Fragrances, our Inside Edge Network sponsor. Type in the promo code Inside Edge 20, get 20% off of your candles, body mist, a lot of great stuff. Again, AlleyRoseFragrances.com. But we'll take a quick break. That's Kyle. I am Anthony. We're back in a moment.
The one thing I've noticed too, like when people walk into the store, like even if they've had a rough day, whatever, as you can see, like because we're right here in the front, we can see people walk in. As soon as they walk through those doors, the expression changes.
Yeah, it does.
Immediately.
Their eyes open up. They're like,
oh my
whoa,
goodness.
Look at this place.
I mean, the kids are always excited.
Oh,
But even the parents are like, I gotta take my kids to the kid. They're like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. I love seeing that expression just change with everyone when they walk through.
For sure. Yeah, it's I mean, it's all about the experience here. You know, we've got that. We've got the train set up with the amusement park ride, which is a tribute to an old park that used to be in Cleveland called Euclid Beach Park, closed in '69. But it's got all these little rides, miniature rides, and you can hit a button, and these rides start moving and making carnival noises, and it's just really cool. We just added another wall of old candy boxes. Some are from like the 20s, and we have a whole wall of them now, and they're just cardboard boxes, but it's the old logos, like I say, Butterfingers, 5 cents, kind of thing. And people will just look at it and say, I remember those things. I remember, when it was a nickel or a quarter or whatever, So those are the kind of things that we like to give back, and that's what it's all about.
Small business owners are superheroes, but nowadays running your business means doing so inside your shop and on social media. That's why you should make Omega Video Marketing your sidekick. With a decade of content creation experience, I create dynamic, informative, and fun videos for your specific social needs that will increase brand awareness, get you more followers, and keep your social pages and websites current and fresh. I offer flexible pricing and turn times and will work with you to understand your brand and your story. All of that comes from the heart. My award-winning expertise is just the cherry on top. So let's get connected. After all, your brand is the alpha and my expertise is the omega.
All right, welcome back. Omega Video Marketing. No matter the businesses and stuff that she is out and promoting, everything, it always just looks impressive when her level of storytelling is put into play in promoting your small business, your events, everything going on here in her local footprint, our local footprint here in Northeast Ohio. Megan Gallagher really doing a phenomenal job again, Omega Video Marketing.
Really is. Imagine she gets all that storytelling from 10 plus years in the media business doing stuff, you like news work, everything else, about multiple Emmy Award winner. She just gets the job done, whether it's, chasing down a story, whether it's finding people that are going to be more interested in your product, your business. Maybe it's an event too, event-based. She handles that as well. Meg's got you covered all across the board if you are a small business looking for what's next here in Northeast Ohio.
Again, her email, MeganRG440 @gmail.com. Let me clear my throat again. It's been a struggle this show. MeganRG440 @gmail.com. She does phenomenal work. How long has she been with us as a sponsor? Over a year now, right?
Oh man, she's been holding it down.
Yeah, she has been. So thank you again to Megan for partnering with us here on the Side Hustle Wrestling Podcast. I did mention earlier we do have a new Inside Edge Network sponsor, and it's some Alley Rose Fragrances. I'm not going to change our background. You'll still see us. Here's the.
This is the time where I'm on the far right, and it's a good thing.
Yeah.
Hi. How are you? Look to my left. What do you see? Pretty fucking good candle. He promised.
Yeah,
What's that?
phenomenal candles and stuff here. So our coworker Allison owns and operates Alley Rose Fragrances and the small business website, and she launched this business 1 year ago as of yesterday. And she also creates a body mist as well. So if you want to smell good, you have a special woman in your life, you want a good gift for them, you gotta get these body mist, and you gotta get these candles. Let me see, we got a few others there. Look at that. And here's the cool thing. When you open the box, you can smell these candles here. You got the Christmas tree one, and then I'm going to show you real quick. Let me put this in full screen. I'm going to show you guys what I got already. Stand by.
I'll tell you what, I've never wanted to eat a candle before until a couple slides ago. It was really good.
I'm not kidding. Look at these. So this is what I got.
You damn use that candle up, bud.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is the frosted berry flavor. Let me tell you, it smells phenomenal. And the burn time. So a lot of candles from like the big stores and stuff, their burn times, like you get the candle, you spend a ton of money on the candles, and they're done in 3 days, 2 days. I've had this for pretty much a solid week. And phenomenal burn. And it's just, look at that. Great stuff. Still smells phenomenal. AlleyRoseFragrances.com. AlleyRoseFragrances.com. That's where you want to go to order your candles, body mist, all that stuff. And when you go there, enter the promo code InsideEdge20 to get 20% off of your online order. And Allison's going to take care of you. Again, Allison does a great job. I'll say that personally because at work she saved my ass a few times, even at work. So, no, but she does a great job with that. AlleyRoseFragrances.com. That's where you want to go. Our very first sponsor, network sponsor on the Inside Edge Network. Anthony Alfred, Kyle Cordell here with you. And let's talk about the Masked Man. Again, one of these days, he or she will reveal themselves. And the question you posed, Kyle, what if it's Bad Bunny? What are you thinking?
Well, I think we know it's Grayson Waller who's been doing it. New Day's been off TV for a little bit. I think Xavier has an injury he's working through. So they kind of pulled them to the side. Yeah, I mean, the Bad Bunny thing makes the most sense because it opens up a match with Logan Paul. And I think people want to see that. That's something for Logan to do. Doesn't involve a title shot or anything like that. It also opens up Bronson Reed and Austin Theory to maybe go after the tag titles. So if Bronson doesn't have a one-on-one match at Mania, so we'll see how the whole thing shakes out with LA Knight and company and all that stuff too and everything. But I mean, it's going to be somebody. It's not going to be Seth. I think Seth's going to be the puppet master behind everything. That'll be his role. I don't know if it necessarily means it's going to be a group. I think it may just be Seth kind of hiring mercenaries to go in there and to fuck around with them. Though I think it would be very apropos if Seth decided, I got Bad Bunny for a year. He said, I'm not going to tour. I'm going to be with WWE for a year. I'll do what Logan Paul's doing. And he pulled Grayson Waller. And then he found a beast. Maybe he finds Oba or one of those guys and says, hey, come here real quick. Let me talk to you. No pun intended. But that's that's a War Games match. That's a long-term story, booking thing to get Seth and his vision versus Braun and his vision into that match. I know it's in November, but I mean, Triple H, it's not beyond him to think about that long term. So it could open the door for something later. But in the meantime, I think in the important intermediate time here with a couple months before Mania, it makes the most sense, especially with Logan going out of his way to say stuff about Bunny's halftime performance, the Super Bowl, and all that stuff. It almost feels like it was planted. Like this is a really good opportunity for Bunny to come back. People love him. He's really good at this. He's not as small as people think.
Yeah.
He's still 5'11". Like, he's still almost 6 feet tall, believe it or not. Like, it's the nickname, people automatically assume he's like tall, about as tall as Anthony, like 5'3". But like when he's actually like measured, he's 5'11". He's an inch shorter than Braun Breaker. That's why you muted that, because I wish I would have had fucking subtitles on that so I could see what you said.
Right, I picked my spots.
Gotta watch Double A After Dark, that show at 12 o'clock on Wednesdays, to see that more often, man. See what he really thinks of me. He'll let that loose.
Hey, Midnight Run, join me at 12:50. I do a segment called Dear Diary.
Oh, God. It's like the hood version of Dear John.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, again, I stole that from my Barbara. Yeah, because we did all that. So Monday through Wednesday, Midnight Run. I don't want it to be Grayson Waller. I really don't. It probably is. But even at that point, who do you cheer for? If it is Grayson Waller, who do you cheer for?
I think Grayson. We talked about this before too, though. Like, I think Grayson is so good at this. He's kind of like Miz, except more athletic from a standpoint of like he can kind of fit into almost any role, and it feels like he probably could do a pretty good job because he cares. Like, I mean, could Grayson tell the story? Could he actually get promo time when he gets revealed and say, I did get left behind. I had to go find the New Day, and they didn't even want me. And then I was kind of just trolling because there was an injury, and Seth came to me, and he gave me this opportunity finally to be in the spot that I'm deserved to be in, and I'm going to take these guys down for me. He can still keep his attitude, so to speak, but he can just channel it into people instead of trying to troll the crowd. And that could be huge. That could be huge for him because he's not really doing much.
I know. My only concern, though, I don't know if they'll go that deep into, this is Seth Rollins' group. Now, if they do,
that's not a bigger concern, yeah.
If they do, then I'm with you with that. Like, okay, all right, we got something there. My concern, people look at Austin Theory, people who do believe in Austin Theory, as a underutilized talent who, new direction, can be given an opportunity to succeed. People look at Grayson Waller as a very talented bad guy. I know he could be a good guy, but that's not how he's been presented at this moment. I think you could have pulled that off of Grayson Waller without the masked man stuff. Grayson Waller could have came out and demolished Austin Theory backstage when he's isolated away from the vision, something like that. My fear, if it's revealed that it's Grayson Waller, he will not get a good reaction from the fans.
Could you imagine the segment I have in mind is he does this thing, he unmasks, it's Grayson, everyone's like, what the fuck? And then he's walking backstage, they have a camera follow him, and Kofi and Xavier are standing there, and he looks at them, and they're like, and he just does want to, and then just walks away. It's like, oh shit. Like, because his whole thing with them was he put himself out there. He did everything for him. He got in the way for them, all that stuff. And they are still a prominent group in the company. So that's a way to kind of give him a little bit more edge and be like, no, I'm done riding bitch with you guys. I'm done getting cast off to the side in the lower mid card and a fucking tag team I'm not even a part of. I'm done. Like, no, this guy saw potential in me and I'm fucking rolling. Let's go. Like, and I'm not gonna like, you people, you have your problems with me, whatever it is, that's fine. I don't care. I have a problem with him. And we're gonna finish this. Like, that's, if he channels it towards Theory and towards the vision, it'll go off better than just being like, oh, I want to be good now. Like, no, he can't just flip the switch and be a nice guy all of a sudden.
Right.
He's also not doing nice guy things. He's attacking these guys behind their back. He's jumping them. So he's still doing heelish shit. It's just he's wearing a mask, so now all of a sudden everyone's like, "Oh, is it going to be? It's intriguing." Like, "Oh, he's saving the day." Is he though? He's kind of being an asshole. He's jumping these guys. If you really think about it, what they've done, he's still jumping them out of nowhere. So I don't know. I just feel like there's there's a way to do it. Will they do it correctly? Who the fuck knows? But I mean, there's a way to get there with either one of them, with Bad Bunny or with Grayson Waller. But I think it's pretty clear it's one of the two.
I have another idea. If it is Grayson Waller, as a masked guy, goes out of the tax and then reveals himself to be Grayson Waller. He goes backstage, and you see 2 or 3 other masked guys who haven't revealed themselves yet. And could that be a Seth Rollins-led group? Because at that point, you would see a story where, oh, Grayson Waller's one of the guys, but it ain't more. It's not just one guy.
Or, and this is obviously way to left field, but it's part of the whole let's embrace the youth, because Grayson's, I think, 33, 34?
I think so.
What if Grayson Waller goes backstage and there's 2 or 3 other guys in mass and he's the leader? This is very Dark State-like, unfortunately, but he's like, we saw Seth's vision. We saw Braun's vision. This is ours. We're tired of being put on the back burner. It's almost like a retribution type thing again, except they actually have a charismatic guy who's going to be able to be free and is shown with promo work previously he can get the crowd engaged, even though it's been booing. But this could be very much like the next version of a modified Shield with a guy that we know has talent, but has never really been given that opportunity to be in that spot, even though he's been put in the ring with some pretty big people. But this is an opportunity now to have his own thing and see, okay, sink or swim. It's like I said with Austin Theory with the Vision. Sink or swim. Like, this is going to be probably his last opportunity to really try and get over with the crowd. And he's just been kind of put in the afterburners. He's the guy getting mad about the other guy getting mad, essentially, which is not what he needs to be doing. But if Seth really is out and Seth ain't going to be back and you don't want Seth to have another group, you want him to kind of just come in and foil everything at some point by himself, why not give Grayson an opportunity to pull a couple guys and be like, let's roll it. And hopefully one or all of them get super over. And you have another young star you can build around with the other ones you've been kind of honing in on. I mean, there's an opportunity there.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you did that, first you need to figure out what side of the fence they're going to be on. Baby faces or heels for the long term.
And there'd be nobody's. It'd be kind of like, we'll see how the crowd reacts. We're coming out there and we're just going to fuck shit up, essentially. I want to see serious Grayson Waller.
I want to see, okay, from that vision then, I want Ricky Saints to be one of the guys in that group then.
Sure.
Yeah. Like, he could be somebody, because he could work both as a babyface and a heel. Yeah. He could be somebody who could make a huge difference. And you would get standout matches with him. And then, you could pick up one of the guys from Dark State. There are options. In my mind, I had Jasper Troy as one of the guys just because he's a bigger guy, but they haven't presented a black guy yet as one of the matches.
Well, listen, they're not all R-Truth. They can't all have like their back and their ankle showing when he jumped in as the masked guy and kind of sold it early for him. I wonder who that is. I don't know. The only guy on the roster that's black and hates John Cena. Oh, it's R-Truth.
It's Truth. Oh, yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Oh. I don't hate it. I honestly wouldn't even hate it if it was just Dark State.
I would.
That's a hell of a debut. You're going after the top guys.
Dark State.
Oh my God! Can you imagine the feud with like Deion Lennox and Braun Breaker and stuff too? That'd be fucking great.
But I will say this as, I have to review the NXT shows. Y'all can't take I mean, you can. If they wanted to take everybody, they could. But the show is suffering right now because they have taken everyone. Right?
You're more likely for it to be. That's why I'm saying I don't know, because I'm imagining they're going to be gearing up for Ricky and Joe Hendry at Stand and Deliver. I would think. So it feels like he's kind of locked in there. I mean, Ethan Page could be somebody.
He's in a story, but it's kind of transitional right now.
Yes, I mean, there's a possibility he could drop that and kind of fade in and be one of those guys. But they've put themselves in a situation where it feels like it's probably only going to be one person, and that person's going to have a match with somebody in the Vision, whether it be, like you mentioned, Bronson Reed or Logan Paul, Or maybe if it is Grayson, maybe it is Austin Theory. Maybe
Yeah.
they drop that out and it's okay. We've been fucking waiting for it. We figured it was going to happen at some point when he came back. They haven't really talked about each other at all. So this is an opportunity. Also, can we get Austin Theory on the fucking mic? Please? Please.
Thank you.
Please. Like, even if it's bad, just get him on the mic. He said he had all this stuff to say. I wrote this up, last week, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. He still hasn't said anything. He's just sitting there looking angry. I like the seriousness. I like that. It's a better character turn for him, but he has to be able to talk, especially with Braun Breaker out. The fuck are you doing? Like, this is a perfect opportunity.
It doesn't feel like the way they presented Austin Theory. I still don't know him.
The thing I think they're worried about Double A in this is that they're afraid that they give Austin Theory the mic and he actually does a good job with the presentation, with the new music, with the look. And if he actually cuts a really good promo and gets people invested, they're afraid he's going to outshine Braun Breaker. And I think that's the bigger concern in this because Braun is built to be the star of that group. Bronson's just supposed to be a muscle mid-carder. Obviously, Logan Paul is just Logan Paul. He's not even in the categories on his own planet as far as what he does for the company. Austin Theory is the only guy in that group that can challenge Braun Breaker to be a leader because he has everything. And now if he's actually able to cut a solid promo in the ring with this seriousness, with the ability to address things from his past and move into his future, that could overshadow the real star of the group, at least in their eyes. So I think they're kind of suppressing him a little bit because they want Braun to be the main guy in the group. And that can honestly lead to Austin Theory being fired, which is sad. But that's where you're going.
For those watching this, and you may think, oh, that's a ridiculous take. Go back and watch Unreal. Go back and watch what they want Chelsea Green to do and not stand out.
She can work with everybody. Well, yeah, Austin Theory can work with everybody. He can put everybody over and make them look good. Yeah, some people are in those roles, but Chelsea Green and Austin Theory are not two of those people. We talked about this. Chelsea Green can be Charlotte Flair. She can be one of those people. Stop making her tell fucking jokes and cum jokes every other week. Like, the fuck are you doing? Like, she has the look. She's got the move set for it. She's talented. She has everything you want. She gets
the brains. Like, she's extremely knowledgeable about the wrestling industry.
Her problem was she mentioned having kids. And once you do that, if they had any inkling that maybe you can get a push to the next level, then it's like, well, we could do this and she could be gone. Like Naomi had been trying for a long time. They knew that, but they also kind of figured, okay, it's getting later. She probably won't have one. Then, lo and behold, miracles happen, which is great for her, and I'm happy for her and her family. But they're probably a little bit pissed off, I'd imagine, WWE, because like we finally gave her this turn, this run, and now like a month into her title reign, she's got to leave because she got pregnant. Fuck. Like, all right. Like, they don't want that to keep happening. So they look at people like Roxanne, like Liv, like some of those people that are like either single or just dating somebody and don't really have any plans. And they're like, yeah, those ones, Soul, those ones, really young ones that don't really, plan on having kids right now. They're really about their work. Raquel, all those people. And they circle them and they look at someone like Chelsea and they're like, I mean, maybe, but you just said you want to have kids and you said you want to have kids soon. So yeah, we don't really feel comfortable putting you in one of those spots. Like, you're not going to be in the chamber. You're not going to be anything. Like, it sucks. It really does. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it does. I mean, probably there was a time they looked at Becky Lynch like that because of what actually happened.
Well, she started it with she's a hell of a bunch of firsts
stories ever told in pro wrestling.
when she opened the briefcase and it was the title, but she's like, I'm gonna go be a mother. Like, that was the whole thing. That was a really cool moment. But then like now it opens the door for more of them to be like, do we really want to? We know they've said to people, because word gets around probably backstage too, like they've been trying or they're doing this or that, or whatever it is. Like, do we really want to put Chelsea in a spot where she's in a WrestleMania match for the title, and then all of a sudden the week before she finds out she's pregnant, and then she wins it, and then she has to relinquish it, and then we're stuck in storytell land where we can't, we have to try and book this impromptu tournament or give it to somebody, or it just opens the door.
That's why you build up. You got to build up multiple people. And they were doing a good job with that, but you just gotta, step out and actually make things work. I don't know. I don't understand. Why is this Becky Lynch AJ Lee feud? Why is it not working?
Maybe it's because the AJ hasn't wrestled in 10 plus years and she has no fucking grease in the wheels. I don't know. Her promo ability is okay. She doesn't necessarily connect with the crowd too much. Monday was really hard to watch. It was very awkward, I think, from both of them. It just felt very awkward. Why is all of a sudden Becky got called a chicken? So now she has to give her a title match. Like, no, I would have made AJ earn it. Like, have a singles match. You showed up back-to-back weeks. You probably need one anyway, just to get, an idea of what's going on. You can't show up 2 times. And because you were a Divas champion 12 years ago, just get a title shot. Like, I understand the history of it. I understand she was one of the people that paved the way when she was there, which she wasn't there for that long. She was there. People forget about it. It was only like a handful of years she was actually active.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was maybe like a 4 or 5 year window, I think, in WWE, at least on the main roster, maybe less.
Yeah, and a good chunk of that, she was a general manager.
Yeah, she wasn't even really wrestling the whole majority of that. So I don't know. It was a great when she came back. There was thought that she was going to be full time. Like, she was going to be like Punk, and she was going to make up for lost time, and she was going to be on the road and at least show up to a couple Raws a month or whatever it is, and try to like make it regular. And then she didn't. So then now it's like, okay, well, what are we doing? And I think they kind of realized that these two really don't have great chemistry. In the ring, it wasn't that great either. In the War Games match, it wasn't that great. I mean, you kind of just you had to pay it off, but then now I don't know what the fuck to do after this with either of them. I don't know.
Well, to AJ Lee, it's clear that they don't know what her character is or what it stands for. You can have a mission statement. I think you know the mission statement. The awkward girl trying to fit in society, that kind of thing. The comic girl, the comic book.
She went down the road of like saying she started doing Nikki Bella promo. We're like, yeah, you're welcome for all the stuff I did for that locker room, and like it's like, okay, so are you a heel now? Like, I don't understand what you're like. So what are we? Okay, like it didn't make any sense. It felt very awkward.
It didn't, and like the problem. All right, so if you got people in the writers' room who only really remember AJ Lee from when she was making out with the other dude, with CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, Corporate King,
John Cena,
Action, John Cena, and others,
Dolph Ziggler,
and
a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah,
AJ Lee was fucking all right.
AJ Lee did get bodied by Big E.
She had. If she had fake boobs, they would have popped.
She got bodied. No, that was great. But it's like, all right, if you strip away those moments, what was her character? And there was something there, but when she's serious, when she's locked in, it's different. But like, she's not finding her rhythm because she doesn't know her character and the writers don't know her character. And the problem is the way that Becky has been presented over these last few weeks. And I honestly, I don't really put much blame on Becky, to be perfectly honest, because that's how she's been presented.
Yeah,
that's her character right now. The entitled big-time star. Like, that's her character. So I really don't put much blame into Becky because that's kind of how she had to react. But this is definitely a surface-level storyline in a feud that probably should have more layers than what it has. And actually, it did have layers, and they just forgot about it. The whole reason, why did AJ Lee come back in the first place? It was because Becky was clowning her man. And it's like, we just forgot. We kind of forgot about that element of the story.
Yep. It just all faded away.
I don't know. And they moved it up. It's going to be at the Chamber. We'll see what happens. We'll see how the wrestling looks too. It's going to be interesting. Now you got to make it a one-on-one. You got to see what they got. This might be. We've been hearing talk. We're not going to have time to talk about it tonight. We will in the very near future. We've been hearing talk from a lot of wrestling people that, man, is the product really suffering because they don't do house shows really anymore?
I think it's probably Yeah, I mean injuries. You would think definitely be more because you're not. Ironically enough, more rest does not equal less injuries. I feel like more people are seriously injured now than ever before, as far as
Yeah,
like missing time and all that stuff, because you get calloused. You do it enough, and I think there's a happy medium, right? You don't have to do 5, 6 shows a week, but like 2 to 3 would make sense. You
Jada
know,
Parker's hurt again.
yeah, which sucks. And they
Yeah.
actually do house shows in NXT, and they do stuff like that, and it's just it's unfortunate. She just can't stay healthy, but like,
Well, apparently, allegedly, it was from a neck break or superplex spot with Blake, and she didn't jump, so she landed on her neck. Allegedly, that's what happened. But even though NXT does house shows, they don't do it.
yeah, it's
It's
not
like,
regular. It's few.
right.
It's like more like spaced out. Like they have the live events, but those are kind of few and far between too. They're really spaced out a lot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having these guys and girls work like 3 days a week. I mean, it's still a light schedule. I mean, you figure a day in for travel, and they still get a couple days off. I mean, it's so you're still getting more. I mean, obviously you still go to more cities, you get more reps, you get to work on these matches, and you're not killing yourself working 6, 7 days a week like some people used to. Back in the olden days, you find a happy medium in the middle, and it feels like they really haven't done that. COVID was the big reason why it shut everything down. You stopped doing house shows. People got comfortable. Okay, I only got to go to Raw once a week. I get to wrestle. The rest of the week I get off, or maybe I have media like 1 or 2 other days, but that's it. It's wild. Like it's crazy how light their schedules are. And some people, the bigger stars, do more media. They have podcasts. They have other stuff. It's about obviously content. But like Cody spends more time probably recording his podcast than he has wrestling in the past 6 months. Like it's been just balls to the wall interviews as opposed to actually going out there and working. Like because he works 1 day a week. Like it's crazy to think about that.
And you hear it from a lot of longtime wrestlers. John Cena talked about it, and many others. It's like you got these guys; they're effing off doing live events. They're like it is. I don't know, but I can't 100% blame the younger guys for doing this when they look at Roman Reigns. Like, and this part blows my mind. The Rock, and I know I blasted The Rock after WrestleMania last year for different circumstances. But The Rock, when he was involved in the storyline going into WrestleMania 40, this man, even when he wasn't booked for the shows, was cutting 20-minute long promos on Twitter, enhancing the story. Like, this is The Rock. The Rock didn't have to do any of that. This man, he would get 5 minutes on SmackDown and then spend the next 25 minutes on social media furthering the storyline.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns is in the prime position to main event WrestleMania again. And when Roman Reigns is not on television, we don't hear a peep from Roman Reigns. Nothing.
He's not that guy. I think that's unfortunate. I think probably I imagine Brock and Cena did this a little more. And you can go back further to like Rock and Austin towards the end of their careers, their first runs, like when they would kind of show up more sporadically and all that. But then you look at a guy like The Undertaker, who like until he like kind of started getting hurt a lot, he was there every week. Now, granted, he was booked, but like he was still there through the entire show every week, start to finish, trying to set a standard of like, no, you need to show up and like you need to put the work in and you need to be present. And now it's kind of more like that. Maybe if you're not booked for the show, maybe you don't fly out. It's all good.
And it's not even just. And it's not even just. All right, fine. You earned it in your contract to not show up physically to the shows, but you can still contribute on social media. Like you can still do something. Like you can post something about something anti CM Punk. Like, hey, you're effing around with Finn Balor doing whatever. When I'm back, I'm coming. Like the party's over. Something, anything.
Yeah, I don't. There's rumors that Roman's going to be in the box. I don't know. I mean, it's so.
Roman's in the grave.
It's so dumb. It's And it's a different day and age, man. Some people, they have it. They know what to do. Rock has always had it. Granted, he grew up in the business, so he kind of knew the importance of doing all this. And, if you're not a second, third generation star, if you came from track and field or you came from, amateur wrestling or, basketball, football, whatever, you look at it as, okay, I'm clocking in for my job. I'll lift on my own and stuff too, but like I do what I do when I'm there. And when I'm not at work. And that's okay. But at the end of the day, if you really want to get over and make more money and you're not a blue chip like Braun Breaker or someone else, if you're someone that kind of needs that space, I mean, that's an opportunity. So use it to your advantage. It's there.
Yeah, Jimmy Johnson would tell you if he cared about wrestling, he would tell you, okay, Michael Irvin is falling asleep in the film study. Okay, cool. What do you need to wake you up? But the third stringer, he's falling asleep. Oh, we're cutting him.
Yep.
Kind of this, Roman can, as much as I criticize Roman can do that.
He did show up for a long time. Like he was there every week grinding. The leukemia stuff happened. He came back, was grinding again, and then he started becoming to the point where it was okay. I know my worth, but he did that over the course of a decade plus.
Yeah.
And then he started stopping to show up every week. It wasn't really until probably 21, 22 when he had to slow it down a little bit. That was 10 years after he debuted on the main roster. And he had built up a character at that point that was like, okay, well, he's one of those guys that he doesn't have to be there every week. He can show up once a month, twice a month, and it can still feel really important and all that stuff. I think we're losing the importance over the consistency first.
Yeah.
Like, be there every show for 10 years straight, and then you can start talking about, because you're an established character. Like, we don't need to see R-Truth every week because we know, even though it's a lesser role, he's still there for a reason, and he'll be a fun little comedic relief somewhere in the show. As opposed to someone like Javon Evans, if he doesn't show up for like 3 months, what the fuck happened to Javon? Like, why is he not here? It's new guys like Powerhouse Hobbs, Royce Keys, whatever, shows up for the Rumble. Good showing. Where's he at? What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Man in the box? Who knows? I don't know. It's just this.
Who knows?
Consistency is important, especially at the beginning parts of your career where you're trying to establish yourself.
Right. Definitely. All right, we're out of time. Real quick, Elimination Chamber at the movie theaters. They're
doing a thing.
When they did this in the past, I consider going to SummerSlam at a Cinemark or AMC, one of those theaters.
Yeah.
It cost, I think, $30
Per person?
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm good.
As cool as it would be to watch that with a large crowd that isn't actually there on a big screen like that, I'll wait for Chasm to show up or something like that before I do that.
I think that's the allure. I think because my understanding, I think they only showed it like one house compared to the rest of like the rest of the theaters and stuff. They just showed it in one. So I think, one showing, or it's two live. It's the Saturday live showing and the Sunday live showing. They charge like crazy. So I'm like, it's cool to watch wrestling with other wrestling fans. Yes, absolutely. But you add that along with popcorn and other stuff. Yeah, I'm not spending $50 at a movie theater.
Also, if the product's good and it's hot and you're looking forward to it, that's a different thing too, because then I'm actually excited to see it. Maybe then I would consider going out in a crowd and watching it. But if it is like it is now, we kind of just have to watch because we do love it. But at the end of the day, it's part of what we do here. We have to watch, the shows as much as we can. I mean, I just want to turn the TV on at that point. I don't want to fucking go out anywhere and spend more money. And, especially if the theater is going to be a quarter full and there's not going to be that many people there watching it. It's like, well, fuck, what are we doing? So.
And can you here's my other question. And then we got to go. Can you make noise at the theater?
Chicken jockey.
I mean, if you're going crazy. and somebody and people next door try to watch Toy Story 5. I don't think you can go nuts. I don't know.
You probably depends on how big
You
the crowd
better
is.
be. If you're spending that much money, I better be able to scream my behind off.
Hey, they also have to know what they're signing themselves up for too. This isn't like just a regular movie. Like this is like the Avengers scene where they all show up, but it's like every 10 minutes. Like because there's always something going on where you're supposed to pop a crowd. So like you have to almost understand. Maybe that's when they're like in the corner of the movie theater.
It has to be in the corner. Because there ain't no way you're reacting to the end of WrestleMania 40. There's no way. Here's The Rock. Oh, here's The Undertaker. Oh, here's this part. Oh, Seth Rollins sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
You're not doing that. Oh,
indubitably.
Cody finished the story.
Well, I mean, like movies get loud, so I guess it would make sense. They'd be able to get
moments. We're talking an entire wrestling show.
Yeah.
Like when John Cena turned heel last year. If we would have went to the theater last year for Chamber and Cena turned heel.
Oh, it would have been crazy. Yeah.
No.
Little golf clap for the kid.
Yeah. I think you got a noise complaint at your apartment when we saw that Cena heel turn last year.
That's just daily. Yeah. I'm really rackus over here.
All right, go ahead, stand up, stretch out the back.
Dude, it hurts so much right now.
Oh man, we said we was gonna go short. We're an hour 42 and we're done. Have a great night or have a great day. It's Friday morning, so have a great day. Enjoy wrestling this week, and we promise no one will be injured or sick, and we'll be back in the studio next week.
You can promise all you want. We may be back in the studio, but I cannot guarantee I will not be hurt or sick.
Ooh, yeah. The forecast was it 62 degrees? I think today or yesterday, 62, 65 degrees. The high temp on Monday, 28.
You know what? Still better than what it was.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll take it. It's still going to feel warm.
Man, people are out here in shorts. Break out the swimming pools. I see grass. All right, we're done. Have a good night, everybody. Bye-bye.